Guys, I think it's time. I think it's time, dude. You banking on green? Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I think it's time. Guys, this is very lit right now. This is very lit, dude. There are so many people in chat right now. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please let me know if the audio levels are no bueno. I am completely unprepared as usual for everything. Oh my god, no good music. Backlane writer, Terry T Gaming. Dude, Gibbo Bobo. Sad Nintendo. Oh my god, Gibbo rated me with 12? Oh my god, I just noticed that. Oh my god, guys. Dude, Bit Symphony, Demand, Shea Relay, Mazel, Shea Butt 22, Double Agent Smith, dude. Guys, Double Agent Smith just recently hit his affiliate. Amazing. Zip Boom Games, dude. Oh my god, Barely Casual. I Tip Turtles, dude. Pirate Savvy is hosting the stream. Oh my god. Dude, Chill Will. What is going on in here, dude? What mic is that? Dude, this mic is one that I bought from Amazon for $30. Yeah, it was not very expensive. It came with the arm and everything. Is the music too loud, guys, in the background? Dude, Demand is gifting subs. What are you doing? We haven't even started, man. Dude, Patty, a little loud. Dude, I got you. Word. Let's just turn that down a little bit. Now stay off my lawn. How's that? Is that better? What are you doing? Dude, oh my god. Guys, thank you for the hosts. We haven't even gotten started yet. We haven't even gotten started yet, guys. Thank you so much for being here. First of all, shout out to dude Backlane. Oh, that was the alert from back then. Oh my god, dude. Demand, thank you so much for that. Terry T, thank you for the host, guys. You're translucent, man. You're a ghost. Dude, I'm the ghost, bro. That's one of my Smurf accounts on my PlayStation. The ghost, bro. Guys, thank you so much for everything. Dude, Sad Nintendo with the Twitch Prime sub. Oh my god. You're gonna break me and we haven't even gotten started yet, dude. Shea Relay is gifting subs. Dude, we have a guest on the show today. Dude, Patty, what is up? Oh my god, guys. This chat is... Dude. Gibbo, thank you for the bits, dude. Pirate Savvy, thank you so much for being here. Who's the guest? I don't know. I believe the guest is gonna be Jomo Senpai. Oh, what? Patty, oh my god, Patty, thank you so much for the follow. What am I missing? This chat's moving too fast for me, guys. I feel like Jomo. I know what he goes through now. What is happening, dude? The alerts can't even keep up, man. You think you heard of that guy? Maybe. So, guys, today we are very lucky to have... Oh my god, Werewolf is here. What is going on, dude? Streamlabs just can't keep up. Demand is gifting more subs. It's gonna break me. Oh my god, Jomo's hosting me on his stream. Thank you, dude. Yeah, you're gonna crash the computer, right? Alright, dude. I can't even get the words out of my mouth. Like, I can't even get words out. Guys, I'm very happy to have Jomo Senpai here today. He is an awesome streamer. He's somebody that I met through Twitter way back when I first started. He's got this amazing growth hacking guide that he wrote. That's actually, I think, one of the ways that I found him was through the growth hacking guide that he wrote. Shay, can you find the link for that and just drop that in the chat if possible? There's a really, really good growth hacking guide, 6 parts that he wrote. It's very in-depth, very detailed, and it was incredibly helpful for me when I was starting out. So I definitely recommend anybody that's just starting out, anybody that's been streaming for a year. If you've been streaming for 5 years, you should read it because it has a lot of, Jesus Christ, backlane writer with the bits. Thank you so much. Oh my god. Yeah, that's the link right there, guys. It's not a, it doesn't always work as a hyperlink for me, but that'll, if you copy and paste that, it'll take you there, boy. It's really, really well written, and it was nice because when I first started, all the information that I wanted was scattered. I would find a thread on Reddit somewhere, or like one post on Yahoo Answers. Dude, everybody with the hosts. Oh my god. Notice me, senpais. And it was nice to find all that information in a compact place, all written by the same person in a cohesive manner. It was extremely helpful, so please read it. It'll be for the best. It'll help you. So I think I've got Jomo like right here. I got my pretzel rocks up for the DMCA free music over here, guys. We got a Jomo on the stream. Dude, go ahead and unmute.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Can you guys hear Jomo okay? Testing. Oh, and by the way, he's wearing a yellow headband. Dude, Jomo, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. How have you been? How's your week? You just went to Google Marketing Con, Google something Con. How did that go, dude?
It was good. It was like a work trip, so there was not much, fun to be had, but I vastly underestimated the drive. I think I tweeted that out. I've never driven that long before. It was so crazy.
Didn't you try to sleep in some Airstream? Didn't you want to weren't you at some little indoor camping thing? And there was a little Airstream.
Google has Google has all these booths that they set up, and one of them was there was an Airstream, and I was like, damn, can I just lock that thing up and crawl in and take a nap? Because when you do a 16-hour drive, you need a day to recover. And I just went right into the conference, and it was kind of crazy. So there you go.
Dude, Double Agent Smith, thank you for that. Dude, 16-hour drive. So what exactly, I know you said it was a work trip, but what kind of stuff what were the panels like at Google Marketing? What kind of stuff were they talking about? What's that cutting edge algorithm? What's the next thing?
Oh yeah, it's they release, so they'll at the Marketing Live Summits they release new products, new Google products. They release updates for Google Home, and then they release updates to their marketing platforms like Analytics, AdWords. They talk about user behavior trends, marketing trends in 2019 and beyond, and it's all just it's kind of just to get people excited about using their stuff. It's not insanely cutting edge,
groundbreaking
yeah,
stuff.
but if you're in the industry, it's good to at least have a presence there.
What kind of tea you drinking today?
Okay, this is a cold brew sencha tea that has been cold brewed for about 17 hours. So if you notice the color on that, the camera is warping the color a little bit.
It looks like mild flat Mountain Dew.
That's actually right. It's a fluorescent green, and it is unbelievable.
Dude, I think this is gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. I'm looking at the chat trying to keep up, dude. 17-hour cold brew. That's my favorite dew.
I don't so one of the things I started doing is I don't I started doing this a while ago, but I don't even look at the view count. Like I don't even look at how many people are actually in the stream. I
Oh no,
just
yeah,
look at
I do that too.
I just look at the chat. Like I just respond to chat, and like whether or not it's busy or whether it's like calm. Because
This is
the
anything but
numbers
calm.
just mess me up.
Dude, thank you for the gift sub, right? Yeah, I took Gibbo Bobo's advice a long time ago and hid that view count, because kind of like what you were saying, Jomo, where it's kind of distracting sometimes. For me, I feel like if you're constantly looking at that view count to try and see like how many people are there, right? Like it can kind of influence your stream. It can influence your mood if if you notice that there's only 2 people watching, or if you all of a sudden see that there's 50 people watching. Like it can affect how you present yourself, and I feel like it allows you to have a much more consistent stream if you're not paying attention to that.
Yeah, and it's like whether or not there's like one person or 100 people in the stream, it shouldn't affect how you act. Like it shouldn't affect how hype or how chill you want to be on stream.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I have some quick starter questions that are just like stupid, easy, quick one-word questions just to get our feet wet here.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food? Rapid fire. What's your favorite
Pizza.
food? Pizza.
Pizza.
Favorite tea?
Matcha.
Favorite anime? It's not a phase, Mom. What's your favorite anime?
And oh man, favorite anime. Holy crap, dude. Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai.
Shit, that's gonna go on the record. I'm gonna regret saying that.
No, don't
later.
regret it, dude. Don't regret it. Afro Samurai was lit in its own way. Dude, what else we got? What's your favorite genre of music? I think most people can figure that out though.
J-pop.
Yeah. But do you also like K-pop?
Love K-pop, yeah.
What is going on here? What's up? Dude, Super Saiyan Ginger? Oh my god. Stealth and all is here. No good music. Sad Nintendo. Mint Toby, dude.
Yeah, there's so many hype people
There's so
in
many
the chat
people
right now.
talking right now. This is a dream come true. Elder Taco, Jomo Senpai, my friggin' stream heroes, dude. Barely casual. You're too kind. Oh my god. Mint Toby, thank you for the raid, dude. There's too much. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. God. Dude, Mint Toby just subbed. Guys, thank you so much for the hype. Oh my god. This is insane, dude. This is insane. This is what it's like. This is crazy. So, all right. So, we got the small stuff out of the way. Can you tell me, like, real talk? Can you tell me? I know on your stream a lot, you'll mention at certain points, like your kind of, for lack of a better term, your like origin story, right? Like why you started streaming. But I mean, is there Shay Relay is gifting subs. Oh my god. Shay Relay, thank you so much. Lady Goggles, you got the tacos now. I kind of, if it's okay, I kind of want to hear like an expanded version of that story, because I think a lot of us know like the basics, but like really, like the details of what kind of was going through your mind when you're like, okay, yeah, I really can give this a shot. Like, what was that like?
So good question. I think that there's people that you have like the work stuff. You have like your day job or whatever it is you do that to make ends meet. And then I think everyone needs some kind of a creative outlet that is like apart from that. So for the longest time, like I started this marketing company in Vancouver like 5 years ago. And for the longest time, that was my entire life. Like, you can ask Tiny Moonspells. It was just like endless nights, endless days, like just all day, all night trying to get this thing off the ground. And eventually, like over a few years, that just becomes normal when you're like working in a startup environment. And then you start to forget what normal life is like. And so I think I just lost sight of what work-life balance actually was. And that became like a big problem for me. And so that's kind of where the whole discussion started happening with my therapist around why did we start this thing to begin with? Like, what was the whole point? What did we want out of it? And then that's when she asked me, like, what would you do if you weren't doing that?
Yeah, if you didn't have to worry about money, what would you do?
Yeah. And so that's kind of what put me down the whole path of like streaming and Twitch. Is when she was like, well, you should just start doing that, and don't even think about it, and just take it like step by step. Like, do one thing at a time. And that's kind of, treat that as your creative outlet. Like, treat that as your thing that you own, that nobody else can touch.
Well, and I think that's what's so great about, dude, there's so many alerts going off right now. Thank you guys. I think that's what's so great about Twitch in specific is like it has a low barrier, in my opinion, it has a low barrier for entry. So like for me personally, I really always wanted to strive to, be creative. And for me, dude, guys, thank you so much for the Mint Toby gifting subs. Thank you guys. For me, like, I made a short horror film. Like, I love filmmaking. That's what I love to do. But it's hard when you're alone. It's hard without a team to create something like that. So when I say low barrier for entry, oh my god, dude, guys, thank you. When I say low barrier for entry, I mean, like, I had a PlayStation 4, I had video games, I had an internet connection, I could push one button and I could be creating content. Right?
Yeah.
You don't need anybody else. There's nobody telling you no. There's nobody telling you can't do it. There's nobody, putting up these walls, dude.
Wait, hold on a sec.
Dude,
you made a short horror film?
Yeah, dude.
Is it okay? Someone needs to link that, because that's on my viewing. That's going on my viewing list, dude.
I have not put that out there. Last Sunday, I think we watched the trailer. We watched the trailer for it, but I have. So when we made it, right? So we made this short horror film for like $200. It didn't have a script. We were drunk the whole time we were making it. Like, everything was just completely thrown together. And we used a lot of harsh noise music, like very brutal sounding music. And we put it out there. We made all of the DVDs ourselves, and we hand numbered them 1 to 100. So there was only 100 copies ever made, and we sold them all.
Wow,
so it's
that's
like
amazing.
they're out there somewhere. I sent a copy to Kevin Smith, which is pretty dope. Like, it's probably in his trash can or on a shelf collecting dust somewhere, but it's still pretty cool. So
that's amazing.
Dude, you guys, oh yeah, Barely Casual went to the movie theater premiere. Yeah, we did. We played it in a theater.
You played it in a theater? That's legit.
Yeah.
So it was like a real film.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was something that we filmed, and it had special effects to a degree. I played a severed head in a box.
Is it on YouTube? Like, are we stepping out of bounds to ask someone to link it in the chat?
You can. I mean, all you guys need to do is look up It trust me, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, my friends. I'm going to tell you right now, it's quite a far departure from what you guys are used to with me, anyways. I was in a dark place, so it's a pretty movie or riot. I just gave you the name of it.
Look, man,
Taken from
when
silence, dude.
at the risk of glorifying the hard times people go through and like being in dark places, oftentimes that's when amazing creation happens, like because you need to be sometimes like when you're at a breaking point or when you are in a really dark place, that's when you kind of like feel that like desperate enough to actually make change or make something happen or create something, and then it kind of like shoots you into a different place.
I definitely agree that sometimes, if you can harness the the negativity that you're feeling, if you can harness those feelings and point them at something and just pull that trigger, you can actually create some amazing art. But it's also important to make sure that you work through whatever it is that's causing those negative feelings. So sometimes the art process itself is the way to do that, and that's how I feel about content creation, and that's what I like about making things like short films and some other types of stuff. I've dabbled in a lot of different things, right? But for me, Twitch was such an easy way to get started. It has such like an easy in. You just push a button and go. But then if you want to really take it seriously and have a passion for it, there are so many things you can do with it, on just on your own. You don't need a team, right? Like you can do that. Like you can set all this up yourself. Like you can do this. You can. It's there if you want to expand, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I love how everybody's just like, I'm gonna go watch this now. You trust me?
I just saved it as a separate tab.
Oh my god, dude. It's something else, guys. If you ever wanted to see me play a guy that's a severed head in a box that talks, that's the place to go.
I think we got like Bit Symphony in the chat somewhere.
Dude, Bit Symphony he was here earlier. Oh my god, guys, thank you so much for the gift subs.
I think we got, like, so I want it, so like so anyone who streams, I know we digress a little bit, but like Bit does this thing on his stream where every time, like when someone like donos or throws bits or like subs, he has set up his I guess commands or scenes to like zoom in on his face, and then he like gives everyone one of these. And it's so just like I would throw money at that all day, because it's so like it's instant, immediate interaction, and I clip it every time. And I know Daniel Kenyaz is in the chat somewhere. He appreciates that.
Dude, yeah, Daniel Kenyaz gave me a hosty boy. Dude, I appreciate each and every one of you guys that are here right now. We got Jomo Senpai here, guys. Guys, if any of you don't know who Jomo Senpai is, it's literally, if you just look at this picture here, it's just at Jomo Senpai for pretty much everything. And it's this beautiful dude with the bright yellow headband. He's an incredibly talented streamer. You guys should check him out if you don't know him. Most of you do. Most everybody does. But if you don't, check him out because he's fantastic. So TwitchCon is something that you are planning on going to, right?
That is unconfirmed.
That is unconfirmed.
Yeah.
So can you at least confirm when JomoCon 2K19 is going to happen? Do we have a date for JomoCon yet?
That is also unconfirmed. I do not know where that rumor originated from.
It's a thing that will eventually take place.
I do not know where the idea of JomoCon came from. It's something that comes up every now and then,
Yeah,
but
I thought it was happening. I thought it was happening in like Omaha. Didn't you set it for like Omaha, Nebraska?
that sounds that unconfirmed. I got to be careful because what I say here is on the record.
Yeah, dude. Well, if you do go to if you do go to JomoCon, that'd be great because it's your own convention. If you do go to TwitchCon, you need to let us know. Were you gonna try and get like a panel or something?
Yeah, so
How does that work?
so Pete from Gaming Careers, I don't know if you guys have seen some of his videos.
I've seen you like retweet his stuff. I've seen like your in interaction with him, but I don't particularly know who that is.
He's amazing. Like so Pete from Gaming Careers and myself, we like submitted a joint panel session for like new streamers and like new broadcasters, and we'll see. Like, it's always up in the air whether these panel sessions get accepted or not. You could have like some of the top streamers submit a panel and they just might not have enough room.
True.
But I think we had a good submission, and we'll see. And even if it doesn't get accepted, it is likely that I'll probably head down anyways.
Is there a submission video?
There's a submission PowerPoint, which is less exciting.
I was hoping it was one of those like submission videos, like for like America's Got Talent or something like that.
No, that probably would have greatly increased the chances of it being accepted, but unfortunately not.
That would have been pretty awesome to see. Can you elaborate for me? On the scarcity and abundance thing? Because I talked a little bit about it last time, operating from a place of abundance, not from scarcity. How would you explain that kind of mentality? Because I'm not sure I really broke it down in the best way. I gave my interpretation of it, but
yeah. I think it's just, I think this type of thinking isn't super unique or original. I think it's sort of just the difference between like being afraid that there's not going to be enough for you, and as opposed to thinking that like, I have to like compete with all these people. There's all this competition and all this noise, and I think when you just fundamentally do your best to believe that like there's actually more than enough for everyone to go around. There's like more than enough opportunity and creative ideas and whatever it is that you're doing. I think whether or not you believe that, it does create opportunities for you, creates better opportunities for you, and that's just kind of my belief, one of my core beliefs.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And like I said, I mean, well, you said that it's not terribly like original. It's not a terribly original way of thinking, but I mean, I admitted last show. I mean, I think a lot of us have felt that way, at least in the beginning. Like, oh no, there's not going to be enough. There's like, where am I going to get these viewers? Where are they? Why aren't they coming to my channel? And you start to get those negative feelings creeping in, and it really, like, even if it's not super original, the fact that that you kind of reframed it for me really did kind of flip a switch. Like, oh wait, yeah, no, you're right. Like, there's plenty to go around for everybody. Like we
Yes.
can all be successful at the same time, you know.
And here's the thing, you know, whether you if you go on stream, like if you go live, and you're like in a bad mood, or you're like in a negative place, or if you're just not feeling it, like it doesn't matter how well you hide it, people notice it, people see it. Like when I'm streaming and I'm playing like a game I'm not fully on board with, like people notice it. And
Right.
like I don't even I just think I'm being me. But and so when you're coming from a place of like concern that, you know, your view count is low, or that you know, things are taking like, when you have those benchmarks, those like made up benchmarks, where, you know, where you're comparing yourself to like other streamers, or you think you should be in a place at this point when you're not, like that creeps in and changes how you act,
Your body
you know,
language,
on
everything.
stream. And people see it, people like notice it, and it turns them off, you know.
It's
but,
almost on
but
an instinctual level, I think, you know, like they just pick up on it. And
yeah, yeah.
they might not say anything, they might not even consciously be aware of it, but like you can just feel it. Like you can just feel it when somebody's not in it, you know, when they're not in it, when they're not feeling it. Like you can it's tangible.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Dude, oh my god. Kramer, oh my god. Kramer, I saw that earlier. I don't want you to think I forgot about you. That was pretty amazing, dude. Thank you. It is an energy. It absolutely is. What kind of, if you could give any kind of advice to somebody now, this is take away the growth hacking guide because there's tons of useful stuff in there. But I mean, if you could give some advice to people that are just starting out, or people that are trying to hit affiliate, you know, what kind of information did you discover during your journey that you think would be helpful to other people?
Okay, so I think the you know, it's like, what are their goals? Are their goals to you know, are they, assuming their goals are to grow their channel, yeah?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's assume that they want to grow their channel, and let's just say that they want to at least be able to make, you know, affiliate.
Yeah, okay. So what I discovered really early on, and again guys, like none of this is like particularly new or original, but what I really kind of held on to was the fact that a lot of like viewers, a lot of the people that are going to come in and discover your stream are other small streamers, you know. So like I really kind of like tried to tap into like people that were in the same boat as myself, like people that were just starting, people that were you know, in the same boat as I was. And there's ways to do that. There's like hashtags you can use. Like I would go, people say they don't surf hashtags. Like I would go surf the small support small streamers hashtag and like check other people out. There's like Discord communities. There's all sorts of places that you can, I guess, just like meet and network with like other people in the same boat as you. And I think that's like very shortly after I started streaming, and I was like, yeah, I want to at least hit affiliate. Um, that's what I was kind of going for, is like the people that are gonna come and support me are people that are in the same boat as I am. And then it's like you get a positive feedback loop because you start to build this community of people that are just trying to like grow, you know. And so little did I know that we'd end up meeting some of the most amazing people on the way there, you know.
Oh, dude, I've met some incredible people since I started
Yeah.
streaming. I can't even begin to think, like, there's so many people that I've met through this, through Twitch, through Twitter, that are just incredible. And I didn't know that the Twitch community would even be like this. I think I was watching somebody else's stream, and I feel really bad because I can't remember exactly who it was. But it was Double Agent Smith.
Hmm.
I was watching Double Agent Smith's stream, and he was like, "Oh, dude, I thought like I didn't know Twitch could be like this. I thought Twitch was all just like bros playing Fortnite." And I mean,
Yeah.
I felt the same way, like I was like, when I first started, I was like, "Oh, it's just, a bunch of people playing Fortnite and PUBG, and I'm going to just do
Yeah.
my own thing and hope someone shows up. I mean, I had no idea that there was this incredible community of people that really do kind of share the same passion for content creation in general. It's not just about like Fortnite or
Yeah.
PUBG or whatever. It was pretty refreshing, to be honest.
I was talking to Demand about that, and it can be hard uh to like communicate that to like your IRL friends and like your SOs and your family, because everyone has this very like skewed, like nobody gets it, like you don't
Right?
really get it
Yeah.
until you're in it.
Right.
Like just this past week, when I was driving, down to California, and back, like I met up with Kippy Koshka and her boyfriend. I met up with Jester, met up with Oogler and his family, and it's like I knew these people. It wasn't. It's always a little weird meeting them IRL, but within like 2 minutes, you're just like talking about all the stuff that happens on and off stream and in the Discord, and you have this like instant rapport. And it was so much fun.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to meet up with I would love to be able to meet up with a bunch of people that I've met. I think that that's a really cool thing to be able to do. That's why being able to go to a convention like TwitchCon, or like the Vancouver meetup and stuff like that, where you can go and actually meet other streamers in like real life. It wasn't awkward at all when I met Jomo Senpai in real life. Yeah, Gibbo, I did meet a couple people in Boston. It was kind of an interesting thing, right? So like player 1, player 2, the event is something that they do often, so there's people that come just to play the games. They're not maybe all streamers and stuff. I did meet a handful of people, and I tried to network with them a little bit, and I haven't really seen any communication from them, so I don't know if it worked out or not. But it was still a lot of fun. It was still a lot of fun, dude. Uh, Barely casual. We will never meet up in real life. We will never meet up in real life.
It's gonna happen, like whether or not whether or not you're in Canada or the US, or you're in Australia or Asia or Europe or wherever the hell you are. It's gonna happen, and like that belief, like that keeps me pumped, like that gets me motivated to like keep doing this, is because eventually like everyone's gonna converge into one place,
Yeah, it's
and it's gonna
JomoCon.
be ridiculous
Yeah,
and crazy
jo-
and fun.
JomoCon 2K19. That's when everybody's getting together.
Or like TwitchCon maybe.
Dude, so are you getting merch set up?
Okay, so I'm trying. So like I want to do it's really hard to do custom headbands. I don't know if
Can
anyone
you hand
has
stitch them? Will you hand
okay,
stitch me?
so
Will you hand stitch me a headband and send it to me?
yes, I will do that. I'll do like what I'm going to do is like I really want to do like a short run of um like custom headbands, but it's really difficult. So my next sort of idea was to get these things called so there's these like cotton cloths called tenuguis, and they're just like they're basically like they come in these little packages, and you can use them for like wrapping. You can use them for headbands, all sorts of stuff like tablecloths. And so I want to see if I can do like custom designs of these.
That would be cool.
Yeah, and I was
I'd wear one over my Skyrim hat.
yeah, it's like these things, right? Like this is a tenugui. Um, this is like my Japanese one, but they're super like they're it's really good quality cotton, and you can use them for like a bunch of other stuff other than like just headbands. And they're super durable. Like that's my biggest thing about merch is like I want it to be, if I'm gonna do something, I want it to be different and a little kind of like off the beaten path. Obviously I got to do a shirt, but so
Dude, shirts are dope. And Tinman135 said he wants a Jomo shirt that has a headband on the front, and on the back it says "Pro Gamer since 1995." Dude,
yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I gotta do like
I gotta do more. I gotta do more. More different like shirts and stuff.
but there's no rush. There's no rush. Like you take your time, and it's all gonna be good.
I like being able to do my have my merch go to charity. So like it I'm always thinking of like, can I do
Yeah.
another shirt that people might like that can also benefit um, Backlane Writer. Thank you so much for the bits. Um, Shea Relay, Purple Unicorn 4. Oh, Purple Unicorn. Thank you for being here. Um, like I always like my goal, right? My goal is to just try to do some good. Yeah. Like
Mhm,
there's so much negativity in the world, and like we all have, things that we go through, and we all have hard times, and we all have difficulties that we might struggle with, but if I can do a little bit of good, then I feel like that's a win, right? So like my shirts, the proceeds from the shirts go to childsplaycharity.org.
That's right.
Like that. So any profits that are made off the shirts, they go directly to charity, and that's why like I like to try and have these talks. I like to talk about mental health awareness stuff too, because it's important that people know that they're not alone, especially if they're going through a hard time. Knowing that you can talk to somebody, or that it's okay to talk about what might be bothering you, or what might be going through your mind, like that's okay to talk about, and there's no reason to be ashamed of it or anything like that. I think
Yeah.
I try to do a little bit of that each stream, just so we can help try and get that stigma around mental health to just disappear, because it's
hmm
normal, man.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I love what you did. I love what you did
Thank
with
you.
your merch, and actually using a platform that just goes beyond producing, manufacturing, and shipping a piece of merch. Like that's really inspiring, and I think in in general, people should have that. Like anyone making merch should have that outlook of like how does this go beyond just like manufacturing something.
Well, right, it's mutually beneficial too. So I mean, while I would love to say that it's 100% altruistic, right? It's mutually beneficial, because if someone buys one of my shirts, then that's really cool that someone bought one of my shirts. It's neat. It's neat to see.
Hmm.
It's neat to get the pictures of them. Like Gibbo Bobo has one, and he's in the UK. So like knowing that I have a shirt that went across the pond is like that's cool. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you can do good with it too. It's not just all about me, 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 me.
Mhm.
It's not all about what's good for me. It allows you to do something good at the same time for other people, pretty effortlessly. Like
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
really was very easy to set that up.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Where do you think you will be a year from now, dude?
In Japan.
Is that confirmed or is that unconfirmed?
It's not fully confirmed yet, but like
Like
I grew
visiting,
up.
like visiting or living?
No, like Tiny Moonspells and I are probably gonna spend some time in Japan next year. It's the only place in my entire life I've ever wanted to go to. All other traveling I've done has just kind of been, family or like on someone else's bandwagon. But like I need to do like a pilgrimage over to Japan and just like spend some time alone there. And yeah, like that's kind of where I hope to be a year from now.
What about 5 years?
Oh my God, dude.
You got
Like
the
I
you got
can't.
the you got the 5 year Jomo plan?
5 years, man. Like it's life is too chaotic to I don't know. I can't do the 5 year thing. I have no idea. No idea. Like for all I know,
I don't know
five
where I'm
years
gonna be
from
next
now.
week.
Yeah, right. 5 years from now, like maybe I don't even know. It's so crazy. Life is a trip, man. Like a year, you can do a year, but 5 years is like, oh shit, I don't know.
You think you'll ever be a full-time streamer? Gibbo Bobo wants to know.
That's
Is that a
certainly
goal?
that's certainly the goal. Yeah, like I'd love to see if I could get this whole thing to a place, and isn't that all of our goals, right? But yeah, like so yeah, eventually I'd like to be streaming full time in Japan.
That would
That's
be
the kind
that would
of
be pretty incredible, dude.
that's the dream. And then like, fly to TwitchCon once a year. Uh so who knows? Feels weird saying that on the record.
Dude, it's on the record. It's out there now. Everybody knows.
It is on the
Everybody
record.
knows. Now you
Holy
have to do it.
shit.
You got to hold to it now.
Oh my God, you're right.
What do you think the most positive thing that has come out of streaming has been? Because I know you said, when you started, it was something that your therapist had brought up. What would you want to do if you didn't have to worry about money, and this is what you
Yeah.
decided. What do you think now? You're how far down? What are you? 9 months? A year? How long have you been streaming?
So I started last November. December, January, February. So I guess maybe eight
Yeah.
months, 9 months. Yeah, about that.
What do you think the most positive thing that has happened? Like, have you noticed any like overall positive changes in your life based off of what
Yeah,
you've been doing?
yeah. I'm excited by something. I'm excited by doing something, and I think like that's the most positive thing that you know has come from all this is like you can just work your life away. You can just be in this complacent part of your life where you're doing the same thing over and over again, but like streaming got me excited about something again, and that's like priceless. you know Everyone needs something that they look forward to, and that's what it did for me.
No, I absolutely agree with that. For me, it's like I feed off of that positive energy, right? Because like I've talked about it in my streams before. Like I have bipolar disorder, I have depression, I have social anxiety. I was telling you right before we went live that in certain situations, if I get too nervous, I start to stutter. I get like, I've started to develop like nervous tics if I get too stressed out. But
Yeah.
it's like I just feed off of this positive energy, and it just lifts you up, right? It's just such an
Yeah.
amazing feeling to know that there are so many people that share the same passion. And dude, Jomo Senpai, oh my god, dude. Jomo Senpai, thank you for the bits. Jomo Senpai, thank you for the bits, dude. Um, I love, but it's just it is. It's and it, the thing that I think bothers me. Now, this is a little bit. We're going to change gears a little bit. We talk about the positive a lot, right? We talk about the positive a lot. You do on your stream all the time. Generally, that's what I talk about on my streams too. But like, what have you noticed lately that has bothered you by the Twitch community? Not necessarily your community, but just like, because I know you spend about as much time on Twitter as I do, and I mean, I see a lot of different things take place, throughout the community, and I'm just wondering if you have noticed anything that made you feel like, dude, that sucks, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, one of the things that really it doesn't like, first of all, I try not.
You can totally speak in generalities too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to put anybody in specific on blast. Like, I just want to know if there's like anything that you've noticed that you're just like, well, that's not really how it should be.
So I think probably a lot of you guys like are gonna know exactly what I'm gonna say, and first of all, like, you can't let anything bother you or trigger you too much. But one of the things that really turns me off is this whole philosophy of like follow for follow, and like how people like, and we see it in all sorts of discords, and we see it a lot on Twitter. Is people just like thinking that blasting out follows is what's gonna like do it for them. That's just kind of like because it's goes so much against like my core beliefs of like, take your time, like, get to know people, get integrated into the community, provide some value. And it's like, if you just have that attitude, like, you'll get to know some amazing people, but the follow for follow thing just it really turns me off. And I don't think that's ever gonna stop. Like, I think
No.
there's always gonna be people out there, and it's all a journey, right? Like, it's
not a
all
race.
yeah. It's like you can, and even if you've participated in that, like, you will soon find out that it doesn't really work.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, when I started streaming, when I first started, I kind of felt like that was the only way, Like, I don't know if anybody else felt like that, but when I first started, like, I kind of felt like that was the only way to try and get people to notice you in a sea of other people is to be like, well, if you follow me, I'll follow you back. Like, I mean, I think a lot of people in the beginning anyways, if you don't have a lot of experience with social media and other avenues, I mean, I think a lot of people feel like that's one of the only ways to kind of begin to grow. But I noticed very early on that the people that do, primarily follow for follow, I mean, they're not the ones that are showing up in your stream,
Like,
they're not going to show up in your stream and watch you
Yeah.
for, 10 minutes, 15, 20, an hour. They're not going to be the ones that show up, like, and how often would you go to, how often would you find yourself going to somebody that you did follow for follow with? Because follow for follow is really just padding each other's numbers. It's hollow. It doesn't have any weight to it whatsoever. There's no incentive other than like, let's make our numbers go up a little bit.
I think, like, in media, like, this is where like the larger trend in like media and fringe media is going, is like getting to these like real kind of like genuine opinions and connections, and like Twitch is a platform where like it's so genuine, like it's so you can't hide anything. Like, that I think one of the greatest case studies about that is when Logan Paul started, like, he did like a live stream, and everyone was like, this isn't what we're used to. Like, this is kind of weird and awkward. And he got all this really kind of like bad feedback from it because his vlogs are so like done up and fake.
He had also just recently done something completely awful before that. I mean, there was still a lot of Backlane writer, thank you so much for the follow. There, I mean, speaking to that point, like there were a lot of viewers at first, but they were destroying his chat. Like they were just trolling him in his chat
I
left and
didn't know
right.
that.
Oh my god, they were
So they,
absolutely destroying his chat. The mods for his chat said it was one of the hardest things that they've ever had to moderate ever in their
no.
moderation careers, and it's because he got demonetized on YouTube for a little bit because
Yeah.
of the Aoki Gahara vlog that he did,
Yeah.
the Suicide Forest vlog that he did. So he got demonetized from YouTube, and
And then
um,
how soon after did he do that Twitch stream?
it wasn't that long. I don't think I don't remember exactly the time frame, but it wasn't that long, and yeah, there was still a lot of really bad tastes in a lot of people's mouths because of something really disgusting that guy did. And
Yeah.
I generally try to stay pretty positive, but I really don't like him because I think it's
Yeah.
pretty awful what he did. Um,
Well, yeah,
but
it's like, you have to, if you opt in to sit and like be active and get involved in a stream, um, it has to really connect with you. And, you're not gonna connect from a follow. You're gonna connect from a genuine experience. And so Twitch is really interesting to me because you can't fake that. Like you can't really fake a completely genuine experience. And that's something I learned. It took me months to kind of learn that. And so that's why, I never, like, I always try and be real with people that, we get hype and we get silly and we laugh, but, I'm not actually like this all the time,
right,
you know? I get hyped, like I feed off of like energy, but it's not who I am all the time. And like people need to know that,
well, I mean, I
you
think
know?
that's important too. I mean, I think there are plenty of people that who they are on stream is definitely um, a little bit of an exaggeration, maybe of who they are in real life. But one of the things that I kind of think about when I think about Twitch and I think about streaming live and having like a brand that you've built and stuff like that, I kind of like to equate it in my mind to like an MMO. Like when I first started playing MMOs, I mean, because I have such bad social anxiety sometimes, you're playing an MMO, you can literally be your best self. You don't have to worry about people knowing, who you really are. So I think it's interesting to be able to maybe project more of who you would like to be all the time,
Yeah.
and you can kind of put who your best self forward
Yeah.
while still being real.
Mhm.
I think that's really nice about Twitch because I'll be the first person to say, like, I'm not the most positive person on the planet, right? Like in real life, I'm not the most positive person on the planet. I
Yeah.
am usually like just very, I don't know, I have a baseline level of just not positive. I don't
Mhm.
know how else to explain it, but when
Yeah.
I come on and I push the live button, you know, I am trying to project my best self. I want to give people what I wish I could give people all the time,
Mhm.
and I think that Twitch is an interesting outlet to be able to do that. I don't know. I think that's interesting to me.
Yeah, and that's why I always say, like, jump in the Discord. Jump in the Discord if you're like in a tough place, or if you're feeling down, or if you're like feeling like you're getting hit with that wave of like negativity. Because like there's always someone in the Discord who's around. Um, whoever's Discord you're a part of, doesn't have to be mine.
Yeah, there's always
Um,
someone.
yeah, and like there's like sections, and there's like a meme channels and all that. Like that's what I do, and it helps me out a lot. Like I could be just like burning out from like a 9-10 hour day at the office, and all I need is like a quick jump into the Discord and like see who's around, see who's posted, and it really does like help me personally keep going, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I have met people, I have met people that have helped me kind of recenter and reframe things in my mind too. And it is, I think Discords are a great way of connecting with people when you're not live, when you're not on stream. Oh my god, guys, there's so much chat. I'm sorry, I always miss chat when I do these shows. Like when I stream video games, I'm always like really good at like watching the chat and like saying things that people are saying. I'm always really good about that. Kind of pride myself on it a little bit. But when I do these talk shows, I always miss like everything. There's so much in the chat right now that I wouldn't even begin to be able to go back up to the top and and try and catch up. Like, you guys are amazing. But I think for me, going back to the original point, I think for me, what I've noticed lately on Twitter is sometimes I feel like there's this idea of, everybody has, most of us have the stream dream, right? Like most of us, we'd love to be full-time streamers. We'd love to be partnered. We'd love to, that's the goal for, I would say, like 90% of us. That would be what we would like to do with our time and, as a career. But I see a lot of these posts on Twitter and stuff that's like path to partner and, push for partner this and push for that and this. And, I mean, I've even seen some arrogance, out there on Twitter where, it's just like people feel entitled to that partnership, right? They feel like they're owed it and that they deserve it. And it's something that you have to work hard for, and it's not something that is going to happen overnight, and you're not going to be able to game the system and find ways around the case by case basis that Twitch uses. Like you're not going to circumvent their methods on deciding who becomes a partner and who doesn't. And I think it's a little irritating when people try to do that, when they try to game the system and be like, well, I've got the numbers. Well, you got the numbers through methods that probably weren't really their intended use, right? Like you tried to game the system. That bothers me, because it shouldn't be about the end point. It should be about every step along the way. Like, I'm fully aware that reaching a 75 average viewer in the last 30-day period is going to take me a long time to get to that point where, that's what I'm doing. And I'm okay with that, because it's a journey, dude. And
yeah, you had a really good
along the way.
You had a really good tweet about that.
It's not a race. And I feel like a lot of these people, they wake up and they think that they're going to be able to push that go live button and make it rain cash all over them every time they stream, and they just see easy money, and they just, they want to get partnered so that they can, reap the benefits of that like really quickly. And it's like, that's not the point.
And
it's not
like
the point.
The grass is always greener, right? Like, I am of the belief that no one should, like, there's people that like have jobs and careers for decades, but I personally, like, I don't think people should be doing the same thing for more than like 3 to 5 years in a row. And so it's like by the time you get to like partner, like, you got to assume that you've already been doing this for a long time. And at that time, you've got a whole different set of like problems and obstacles and things you're worrying about. I see that taco on the shoulder. Don't think for a second that I don't see that taco on the shoulder. I love it. But yeah, like, I think grass is always greener is the only point I was going to make. amazing. I'm trying to sit really still.
Dude, I'm tucked in the headband.
I'm trying to sit really still so you can get the placement just right.
Oh my god, Shay, thank you so much for the gift sub. The top of Jomo's head has arms now. That'd be terrifying. All right, sorry, we're gonna get him back in the tree. I don't know. I just had to do that. It struck me as funny in the moment, but yeah, I don't know. It's not a race, dude.
It's all relative. It's all relative.
Like you're gonna get
You know?
there. You're gonna get there when you're meant to get there, right? Like as long as you put in the effort and as long as you put in the hard work, like that stuff shows through your stream, and you know it shows through the content that you create. And I feel like when when I do get to be partnered, which I would like to happen at some point. I think we all would. When I do get to that point, I'm going to be able to say that it's something that, I did with the support of wonderful people, but like, this is something that I worked for. This is something that I worked hard for. It's not something that was just given to me because I found a way to kind of circumvent the rules in place, right? Like, I didn't Skyrim walk up the mountain, on the glitch my way up the mountain and get partnership. Like, I had to go all the way up from the bottom and go up all the stairs that go all the way to the top where the graybeards are. Like, it took me forever to get there, dude. Like, and then it'll just be worth so much more.
What difficulty were you playing on?
What, in Skyrim? Dude,
yeah.
Casual, bro. You gotta play on casual.
Yeah.
You gotta play on casual. No, I don't think I've ever played Skyrim on like super difficult.
Love that game so much. Oh my god.
They released it for Alexa
What?
or Google Home or one of them. Yeah.
What is that? How do you release a game?
You go, Alexa, what level am I? And they'll be like, you're level 12.
Wow.
And then you'll be like, what's my quest? And they'll tell you the quest, and then you're like, and you see, you just talk to it.
That's really the reason. Like, let's be honest. That's the only reason we're trying to make it as streamers is so we can just live in Skyrim VR,
Right.
like our entire lives.
Dude, Steve Prefontaine, Jared Leto was in a Prefontaine movie back in the 90s, and it was a really good movie. And they made his running shoes special with a waffle iron, and like, these are facts. Like, his coach made him custom shoes for the track with a waffle iron. I thought that was incredible. I wanted to talk about Steve Prefontaine for a minute, dude. I had to get that out there.
Prefontaine.
Dude, Prefontaine. I'm trying to think of other things that I had written down. Most of them we've gone through, dude. Is there anything that you specifically want to talk about? Like, is there anything that you're just like, I don't usually like, because when you're on your own stream, right, you might have like, you've got like, okay, I gotta make sure I have time for Mario Maker. I gotta make sure I have time for 5 hours for this one level because I'm gonna die 1,000 times trying to get through it. Like, I gotta make sure I have 8 hours for Celeste because it's really hard and I'm gonna die a lot. Like, you gotta make sure you have a lot of time for all the games that you play because you're gonna die a lot. So, is there something that you like would like to talk about that you sometimes feel like you don't have a lot of time to talk about?
I think I'm all my life I've been like a digital marketer. That's all I've ever done. I never went to school. I just started, doing things like search engine optimization and search engine marketing and all that stuff. And so, like, I have this inherent kind of like interest in growth and user behavior. And one of the things that, like, there's a lot of talented streamers in the chat right now.
Oh my god, it's incredible.
there's a lot of talented streamers in the chat right now, and not that any of them, need any, like, everyone's doing just fine. But one of the things I'm really excited to potentially talk about at TwitchCon is is like inbound marketing, and creating content outside of just Twitch. Like, so like the uh the Medium article series I wrote, like that is just an amalgamation of information that I found, um, that really helped me when I first started streaming. That is not, and I kind of like molded it into my own words and put my own spin on it, but anyone can do that. And that is like arguably one of the best things that I've done, for like my own growth as like a channel and as a streamer. And so the idea of like creating content outside of just Twitch to like funnel people into an area that you want to drive traffic to, like i.e. your Twitch stream, that's a really interesting conversation, because the difference between inbound and outbound is that like inbound is you're directing traffic to like a source through valuable content and like value-based content. And outbound is like you're kind of like you're cold calling people,
Yeah.
you're emailing people, in the hopes that they might be interested in whatever it is you have to offer. But
Thank you for the
I
validate.
feel like I've just sort of, I want to do more value-based content, for streamers, just because it's something I'm going through, but also because if you want to grow your stream, I think that's the best thing you can be doing. It gives you an opportunity to like take yourself outside of like the Twitch noise into like other environments, you know?
I would definitely watch the hell out of that.
So, it's a pretty common concept, but I think in the grand scheme of like streamers and Twitch channel growth, I think it's an underutilized form of content marketing.
I mean, I think a lot of people just assume that, that they're gonna be able to post on Twitter and be like, dude, the Brendanator, thank you for the follow, dude. Um, I think a lot of people think that you're gonna be able to just post on Twitter like, I'm going live, and and that will be enough, and that might draw some traffic, but it kind of goes back to making the genuine connections that you were talking about earlier. Like, you really need to put in the effort to reach out to people and have a conversation, and get to know somebody, because those connections that you build, that natural growth, that organic growth, that is what is going to grow your channel in the long run. And like all that follow for follow nonsense, dude, it's just hollow. And
Yeah.
I think that making that content that makes people want to come to you, that's the important concept to wrap your mind around, is that getting your brand out there and getting your name out in other spaces, in other circles, is what is going to drive traffic to you, and on your Twitch channel. And I think that's important to think about. And I mean, that might just mean retweeting a lot of stuff, or liking a lot of stuff, or using appropriate hashtags, or using doing searches and figuring out what's popular or what's trending, as far as how you tweet, what words to use. I mean, there's all kinds of keywords that people will pick up on, and if you really do that research and you kind of put that into practice, like, you really can, you can grow. Like, in the beginning, like, I grew really, for me, I was almost scared at like how quickly I started to grow, because I was so in deep with like searching algorithms, searching what was a popular hashtag, what's trending, what's the right thing to say in my tweet. Like, you really kind of dive into that content and try and figure out how to make that work for you, and it paid off. It's it's important to put in that level of effort. I think if you want to see your channel and your brand grow the way you would like it to, but you also have to be okay with accepting the fact that you might stream and you might have 30 people in there, or you might stream and you might have one person in there, but that one person is still sitting at their computer or their TV or their phone or their iPad or whatever the hell they're using. That one person is still sitting there watching you. So that one person is still just as valuable as 30 people, as 100 people, because that one person is there to watch you, and they've chosen to give you their time, which time is the most valuable thing you can give to somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Oh,
when
dude,
you're
I have the viewer count. I have the viewer count off, Lord Forrester. I've had it off ever since I got Streamlabs.
I just want to say that Brendonator is now playing Lost Planet 2 because a Steam notification popped up on my desktop, and I love that I know what he's playing right now.
Dude, Brendonator, Lost Planet 2, let's go.
I love seeing, like, sometimes I'll just go into the Discords and like see what people are listening to or like playing. It's so like fun to do that.
That's only moderately creepy.
It's only moderately creepy.
Sometimes I like to just go cyberstalk people.
Come on, like I am so open. I'm so open with my social media creep. Like, don't think for a second, guys, that if you add me on Instagram, I'm not gonna go through every single photo you have. Don't think for a second. Let's just put it all out on the table. Like, if you hit me up on Twitter, I'm gonna read every single tweet. I'm gonna look at every photo, and that's okay. It's all public.
You're not breaking any laws, dude. It's all public.
Hey, Spamdelf said he had some philosophical questions that I'm really interested in hearing.
We definitely need philosophical questions.
I'd love
30 plus likes from Jomo Senpai on Twitter when I added it.
And like Lord Forster only had like 30 photos. He didn't have that many photos, so I just powered through all of them.
I logged into Twitter one day and Jomo Senpai had liked nearly every one of my tweets, and it was the greatest day of my life, Chaotic Blonde says. Does a person's name influence the person they become?
Whoa.
Wrap your synapses around that.
Whoa. Jesus. Is that like?
Are we talking real names, or are we talking like? Can we talk like in the sense of like Twitch names, or are we going like real names? Because like.
So, I think it does. I think it does because whatever name you're given throughout your entire life, it's like people are referencing other people who share your name. And so whether you kind of like are aware of it or not, you probably have some association to like the people that reference the same name as you, you know? So it's got to have some influence into who you are and who you become.
I mean, that's fair.
Right?
I think that like as far as like usernames, I feel like usernames are a lot more telling a lot of times. I mean, it's a lot easier to have your username influence how like your brand might go or what you might use with it, different color schemes and stuff like that. But as a person, I don't know. That's
a good question,
tough, dude. That's tough.
Good question. I also don't think like any answer like that is that simple.
Well,
like
no,
I don't think a question.
No, there's no simple answer to philosophical questions. Not usually.
So like Terry T. So like Terry T Gaming.
I do have a
he's
question for
he's
you
in the
too.
chat. Terry T. So he has like an avatar of like a naked person in the bathtub with a AK-47 or I don't know anything about guns, but that so like that is so iconic to him and his brand. um like you see that, like that stands out in like a wave of content, and you're just like, what? Like is that what I'm like, am I looking at that? And that is like so relevant, I find, if you can tap into something like that that just makes you stand out. It's a famous meme too, right?
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah,
Isn't it some like Norwegian soldier or something like that?
I think so.
It's
I
some. It
think
has
so.
something to do with that. Jomo, what's your spirit animal
Oh man, it changes all the time.
today?
Um, typically, like my spirit animals are like memes. I think right now my spirit animal is the car salesman meme.
That's your spirit animal.
That's my spirit animal. Yeah, the car salesman meme. Slaps roof of car, can
This
fit so much
pretzel.
spaghetti in this
This
thing.
this pretzel can hold 18 toppings.
Yeah, like that's just the one of the best things in my life right now is like seeing all the iterations of that.
If you had to be an animal, what would you choose?
If I had to be an animal, I would probably choose um oh, it changes all the time.
I would probably choose sloth.
Sloth.
Yeah,
Mazel says a gazelle.
fair.
Gibobo says a monkey. Lord Forrester says, Gemma Senpai, you're so a lion. So my Chinese zodiac, I'm born in the year of the dragon, and my astrology sign is I am a Scorpio. So the easy answer would be one of those. But I think I would be an animal that is like alone a lot, like I'm a bit of a closeted introvert, and I do take my solitude very seriously. So I don't know what animals would be alone a lot, but
I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head that like to be alone all the time. I mean, sloths can be alone because it takes a long time for them to get to each other.
oh my god, Double Agent Smith is like, I associate with
With the
with the
cuttlefish.
cuttlefish.
Dude, I was just looking up my Chinese zodiac is Year of the Rabbit. I don't know what that means, but that's that
Yeah,
is Year of the Rabbit, 1987. Boy, 1987 was a good year.
yeah, yeah. My mama senpai is a big like astrologist, and she's like she knows a lot about astrology. In my entire life, she's like told me stuff that I apologize, I have retained very little of it, but she's big on like what does it mean, like what does it say about you, and a lot of the time it's interestingly accurate to a degree, you know. Oh, Demand says male elephants are overall solitary unless they are the head of a herd. Interesting.
All right, well, so then maybe you're an elephant.
Maybe I'm an elephant.
What about a rhino? Rhino, maybe,
Rhinos are beautiful creatures. Oh my god.
or like a hippo.
I'm
Hippos are the
really.
most dangerous animal.
I saw someone said bumblebees. I forgot where, but I'm really into like bumblebees these days.
Was it? Was it Zypop? Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
really
Zypop.
into I'm really into bumblebees. Like I find myself like walking down the street, and I'll like see a bumblebee like gathering pollen from like a flower or some like lavender or something, and I'll just like stop and like zoom in and watch it. I'll be like, wow.
Dude, I saw this video. I saw this video online of this lady that had a bumblebee as a pet, and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it had no wings because of the disease, like the mold or whatever that was on its wings, and it was
Yeah.
her little pet, and she like carried it around, and it would sit on her nose and fall asleep in her hand, and it's just like it was very, very, very adorable.
Bees need a lot of help these days. I don't know if you guys know the leading scientist for like mycelium, mycology, and fungus, Mr. Paul Stamets. Shout out to him. But Paul Stamets also named after the scientist in the new Star Trek series. He is doing amazing things with saving the bees, and um, he's using like fungus and mushrooms and mycelia to treat a lot of like the issues that they're having with regards to like genetic disorders, viruses, mites, and he's killing it. He's like saving the world, and nobody knows about him.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people don't, and I mean, I'm speaking very generally when I say this, but I think a lot of people don't realize how important bees actually are. Like, I think it's just this common misconception that, you know, you could lose an entire species, like, you know, bees and all their subspecies, and everything would be fine. But it's like they play such an important role in helping everything just keep moving. Like,
Yeah,
they're incredibly important.
it's true. It's true. What did some Beth says Dust is factoid, and I want to get a beehive.
If
A
bees die,
bee.
they're taking us with them. Yeah, dude. You
It's,
ain't kidding.
oh, it makes me nervous thinking about it. Makes me nervous.
What is your favorite Studio Ghibli movie?
Who asked that question?
I did.
Oh my god. Favorite Studio Ghibli movie. Oh, that is such a good question.
I can tell you mine.
What's yours? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, My Neighbor Totoro. Zypop said Castle in the Sky, which has to be up there. Um, I would have to say
I am a
my
Totoro
favorite
now.
Howl's Moving Castle,
Howl's Moving Castle is
Spirited
great.
Away. Kiki's Delivery Service is amazing. Um, Princess Mononoke
Princess
for
Mononoke
sure.
is great.
That's got to be my favorite, I think.
That would be a good choice. I would be
Yeah.
okay with that pick. Mononoke is a really, really good film. I like
Hmm.
that one a lot. I relate to Totoro. I don't know, something about how fat and lazy he is, while still being like a nice forest spirit protector. I relate to that.
Couple animes I still haven't seen Nausicaa of the Valley,
I haven't seen
which
that
I
one either.
believe is it's an earlier Studio Ghibli film I really want to watch. And then there's another anime that is not Ghibli, but it's kind of like it's up there. It's called Tekkon Concrete.
Hold on. I think I know which one you're talking about. I need to look it up
Yeah.
now. I think I have a picture in my mind of what it looks. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. I have it, but I still haven't seen it, and everyone's like saying it's amazing. So maybe I'll have to queue that up sooner than
One
later.
of the best anime movies ever, according to Eric Nakamura of Giant Robot Magazine.
Nice.
Well, there you go. That's
Kramer
quite the endorsement.
Kramer asks what favorite Wes Anderson movie.
Ooh.
What is the one with the
Is
what's the one?
Darjeeling Limited a Wes Anderson movie?
I think so.
I think Darjeeling Limit. Yeah, I think that's one of my favorites. Although I really did enjoy Royal Tenenbaums. Tenenbaums.
Oh my gosh, Isle of Dogs. Isle of Dogs for me. That's like the newest one.
I don't know if I've seen that one. I'm kind of
Yeah,
like
it
I'm out of touch with with my boy Wes Anderson.
Just came out. I thought that was a beautiful movie. I
Oh
think
my
it was
god,
his
dude.
only like animated one too, right?
Dude, when is Taken from Silence 2 coming out? Oh my god, dude.
Oh, that's right. Fantastic Mr. Fox.
The Life Aquatic, yeah. Life
What other
Aquatic.
what other skills does Jomo Senpai have? Juggle BMX skateboards? What other skills do I have? That's an embarrassing question.
Nunchuck
Um,
skills, computer
okay,
hacking skills, tater tot skills. Like,
percussion. I can play the drums pretty well and bartend. I can bartend like a madman.
can you actually bartend?
Dude, I was a bartender for 7 years.
I can like eyeball making a good drink, but I have no idea how to bartend. Like, I'll make myself a whiskey sour, or I used to, and it would always taste pretty good, but I would never be able to be a bartender. Um, Dude, let me see. Jomo Senpai Elder Taco, what video game had the most influence on you when you were growing up? I'll let you take that one first.
Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Do you have any like fun memories about that particular game? Like
Um,
what about it grabbed you? Like what was the thing that you were like, this is amazing?
just the universe that it was like created within. It was like it was uh, when I was playing that game, I was getting bullied really hard at school, and I think the thing that really it was like the perfect game I needed to like take me out of the current situation I was in, and that kind of like got me on this whole journey with like Nintendo and like the Legend of Zelda games, and yeah, it was like it was amazing. Just the characters, like the like majestic nature of the whole thing, and it was so different and artistic and beautiful and brilliant and challenging, and the whole development. Like I could talk about it for hours.
I mean, I think the thing that was really helpful for me when I was a kid with video games, right, was yeah, who bullied Jomo? Who bullied Jomo? Who
You know,
hurt you? Who
it's
hurt
always
you?
it's always the bigger kids, you know.
Uh, I think one of the things for me about video games in general as a kid that I think a lot of people take for granted sometimes, and they just don't really understand. Um, for me, it was a way to feel like a hero when you don't necessarily feel that way in real life, right? Like
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
feel kind of marginalized, or you feel like you're not really fitting in, or you don't really have a lot of friends, or you're not really that interesting, or whatever, or whether you're bullied, or whatever your situation is. For me, it was a way to feel like I was important, like I was part of a story. And
yeah,
because I mean, I hadn't found my story, I hadn't found
yeah,
my journey. So it was a way to step
yeah,
into the shoes of a hero that was needed, and that people wanted to be around. And I think that that's an incredible thing that you can give to somebody that maybe doesn't feel like they're unique or special or smart or talented or whatever. A lot of people see video games as an escape, and they see that as a negative thing, but I think it can be an incredibly positive thing too, because
oh
it just
man,
it just gives you that feeling of that you're accomplishing something greater than yourself, and as a kid I needed
yeah,
that.
yeah. And I think it's so easy to miss that. Like a lot of people don't get that. I'm a huge advocate for like obviously like a lot of us here, like huge advocate for video games in general. Like Tiny Moonspells, she used to work at a last resort school for kids, and you know, like these are kids that have like the worst of the worst of situations that they've just been like, you know, born into. And like tell one of those kids that, you know, like video games are bad for you, you know, like video games, like having an escape, like you should go outside and play. Like those kids, like some people need an escape, just to get by. And I think that's like so important, and it's easy to miss that.
Well, and I think another thing too is like there's so many worse things that you could do if you were looking for an escape, right? There's so many worse things, so many worse decisions you could make. And if you play video games a lot to kind of get away from your problems, I think that's not a bad choice, I think that's not a bad choice at all. There's a lot worse that you could be doing with your time than playing video games. And I think video games, they every year they tend to get a bad rap in the media. They like to try to tout that video games are linked to increased aggression and increased violence in people, and I don't think that's really the case. I think that they're not really looking at the fact that a lot of times there are people that take things to an extreme because they have other things going on. It's not the video games that cause them to be more aggressive. They have other things, other factors in their lives, and that's the sad thing about not having a discussion about mental health at least in my country. In the United States, it doesn't seem like anybody really wants to talk about it, and it's super important. It's super important, and it's not video games that make somebody violent.
So Bit Symphony asked, what is your favorite speed run?
My favorite speed run is the level that Jomo, I watched him play Mario Maker. It was like 5 hours. That was my favorite speed run.
Oh my god. That was that was like one of the most delirious times I think I've ever had with video games.
Dude, that was literally one of my favorite moments. Was just you were just like, at a certain point you were just like, we're not stopping until I finish this, and then like 5 hours later you finished the level. It was incredible, dude.
It's insane.
What beard cream do you use, Jomo Senpai? Explain the importance to Elder Taco.
So who knows a lot about that is Wolfman Guap. He knows a lot about like beard salves. But what it does, you don't need a lot of it, and it's just it kind of like holds everything together. It moisturizes your beard so that when you like shake your beard, you don't get like particles flying out everywhere. It's just like your hair, you get dandruff in your hair, and like the salve kind of just holds it all together. It moisturizes underneath the thickness, and I could use it more than I do. I don't use it that much, but there are schools of thought that swear by it. So
somebody proposed to me, they proposed to me a value, right? A number, I should say, of, they asked how much money would it take for you to shave your beard off? And I said, I wouldn't shave my beard off, dude. And he was like, what about what about if I gave you $100? And I was like, I'm not gonna shave my beard off, dude. I'm not gonna shave my beard off. I would look like an old baby if I shaved my beard off. I would look like an old baby.
Yeah,
there's just no way, dude.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with looking like an old baby. To each their own. But
there's a crowd out there for the old baby, man.
It's a weird thing to offer somebody money for sure.
They were like, I mean, he was kidding, I think, but he was like, how much money would it take for you to shave your beard off on stream, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I wouldn't do it, dude. I wouldn't.
See, we got some old babies in the chat right now. Benjamin Buttons.
Please,
can
no
relate.
babies.
Can relates, yeah.
Dude, Carnage, thank you for being here, man.
If hold on, if Bit Symphony's here, I just wanna let him know that my favorite speedrun of all time was the SGDQ 2014 Tomba speedrun, where the kid just sat down next to the guy that was speedrunning. He invited himself onto the couch, and it was like, I feel like that put GDQ on the map. Like that put speedrunning and GDQ on the map, really.
What happened? He just sat down on the
Oh
couch.
yeah, and it's like
Is
he's
it awkward?
speedrunning. He's speedrunning. Yeah, it's like one of the best. It's one of the most awkward, like GDQ videos of all time, and he's speedrunning a game called Tomba.
Yeah, I know Tomba. Doesn't
And
Tomba have pigs in it?
yes, yes, and this kid sits down, and like no one's there. Like this is just some random dinky little speed running event at SGDQ, and yeah, I'll post a link, and he sits down, and he's just like, everyone's taken the speed run quite seriously, and he's just kind of like adding in these like little comments, and eventually the speedrunner says, well, I would really prefer it if you stopped talking right now. And it's the best thing ever. It's an example of high integrity, direct conversation, and nobody was expecting it, and it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing.
I'd prefer it if you would be quiet.
Yeah, it's really
It's
funny.
super
So
polite, super professional. Like,
yeah.
you
And
couldn't
it's
be my
all
style,
live,
dude,
right? It's none of it's planned. None of it's planned. And those are the best. Those are the best ones. The ones that aren't planned, that just happen organically and au naturel. So there you have it.
What do you think for tips, right? For tips that for people that are trying to level up their streams a little bit, right? You know, people that are trying to make forward progress and kind of improve in earnest. I mean, what kind of things would you suggest that you think have worked for you as far as growing and new techniques and like trying different things? Like, what things do you think have helped you grow?
So the inbound marketing stuff, so developing content outside of just Twitch in other environments that are valuable to the potential, like the potential audiences that you want to get access to. And then doing one thing every time to like level up your stream, whether it's audio, visual, whether it's graphics, whether it's like triggers, whether it's things that, commands. And it's a never ending thing. Like there's always something. There's always something. Like audio is a big thing that I feel like a lot of people, audio is very challenging because it's highly dependent on your environment, and like Bit Symphony is really good at a lot of this stuff, and he, like when I was trying to mess around and improve my audio, I spent like several hours tweaking the slightest things, recording myself talking into the mic, and then listening to it again, and then tweaking it again, and like recording, tweaking. And so those little things, like it's a never ending thing. Like there's always stuff to improve. There's always stuff to add, whether it's like graphics, AV, whether it's like interactivity, chatbot technology. It's never ending.
How do you get pretty hype sometimes? Like I think about this sometimes. You get pretty hype on your channel sometimes, and sometimes things get a little loud. Like I'm always concerned about, like I'm always looking at the levels on my Streamlabs, because I'm always concerned that I'm peaking or that I'm hurting someone's ears, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Does jumping jacks? Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. Like
Oh my
I
god.
I always I'm always worried that like I'm gonna be just like blowing someone's eardrums out if I get too loud. Like how do you manage like how can you manage that where you want to be like as hype as possible and like whatever, but you don't want to have to worry about whether or not you're gonna blow out someone's speakers.
I don't know. I think I like sometimes I look back and like I'll do like little highlights of parts of my streams where I get really loud and it doesn't sound very good, but I think there's like filters you can use. There's like um I forget the names of the filters because it's been so long since I've actually like improved the audio component of my streams, but yeah, like you got to look out for that because so double agent space compression and ducking. Um, I've had people in chat.
I don't even know what a compressor is, my dudes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, in chat. So Mazelle's like your chat will tell you if they're dying. At least your own. Yeah, so I've had people in chat be like, "Oh my god, like my eardrums just got blown out,"
right.
and I'm just like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry."
Sorry, chat.
So I gotta, that's another thing. Like audio and visuals, you don't even need expensive gear to improve on like the AV stuff, and that's something that you can always just be testing and improving on. I feel like.
Compressors will automatically lower your audio by a certain amount if it hits certain levels. Well, that's good to know, dude.
That's good advice. Yeah.
Ducking
Yeah.
will lower your game audio every time your mic audio comes in. See, dude, we've got so many wonderful, talented people in the chat, dude. Like it's pretty incredible that there are so many awesome people gathered in one spot. You know, like I think that we have really like we share a lot of the same viewers between your community, my community, you know, like Positively Gamers, the Spring of Wisdom, you know, like Twitch Support Squad. I mean, like just all the Demands channel. Like we share a lot of the same people, and I think it's pretty awesome that, you know, people can come together and all just hang out and just have a good time with each other. Like I really enjoy that about Twitch. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing that's another like beautiful thing I discovered into streaming is like the community aspect again, because like you don't really understand that until you're in it. And it's crazy and amazing, and it blows my mind like how much everyone supports each other and like jumps into streams and like helps answer questions, and like new people are coming in every day, and it's yeah, I'm always looking forward to like seeing where this whole Twitch thing really goes, you know.
Well, and it's like it's cool being able to meet people at different points in their own journey, right? Because you know you might get somebody that joins your Discord or joins your chat or your channel, and you know they are just starting to think about streaming, you know,
Yeah.
or they've been streaming for a month or two, or they've been streaming for a year, you know. I mean, and you meet these different people that are in different points of their kind of streaming journey, and it's really interesting to be able to see the kind of impact you can have on the positive impact that you can have on somebody regardless of where they're at. Like you can really just each and every one of you has the power to do something positive for somebody else. Like it's such a nice feeling to be able to directly impact in a positive way other people. I think that's super awesome.
Totally.
What do you guys think is the next step for this platform? In what ways can Twitch change or improve? I don't know. I mean, I think there's still a lot of people, like I said earlier in the stream. I think there's a lot of people that still have the idea that Twitch is just Fortnite bros, you know, and like that needs to be dispelled. That needs to be dispelled right quick, dude. Allow full nudity. There are websites where that's allowed. We don't need Twitch to be another one of them. Like, I think that Twitch needs to kind of dispel that myth that it's just about, big games like Fortnite or PUBG or League or whatever. Like, they make up a huge portion of their viewers and stuff like that, and the content creators. Obviously, like, you look at a Fortnite, you go to browse Fortnite, and it's just completely saturated with people that are playing Fortnite. It obviously makes up a huge chunk of their revenue, but I mean, it's not the only thing that this platform can be used for. And I think that personally, I'm not so concerned with what Twitch is going to do to change or evolve. I'm more concerned about what I'm going to do to change or evolve using this platform, because this is one of the reasons why I started doing this talk show in the first place. Like, I felt like playing games and streaming the gameplay and talking to chat and stuff like that. I felt like that was you know all well and good, but it's like, what do you do at the end of the day that separates you from the sea of voices, from the sea of people that are all doing the same thing? Because you better believe that there is somebody out there right now working twice as hard, that is twice as creative, and that is putting in twice as much effort as you are. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to be negative on anybody, but it's just a fact. Like, somebody out there right now is working twice as hard as I am to get where they want to be. And it doesn't matter how hard you work, there's always going to be somebody that's working harder than you. And it's important to remember that. And so what do you want to do to set yourself apart? What do you want? What kind of content do you want to create to make you unique so people want to come to you? So you're not just another person doing a let's play, or you're not just another person playing Fortnite. Like, what do you want to use this platform for? For me, community engagement is one of the best things about Twitch. That's what I love the most. So it makes sense to want to talk to other streamers, and it makes sense to want to talk to chat, and that's why I completely changed my format, because I wanted to do something different.
I think there's also a huge wave in like live video in general, like live video platforms and live video integrations and live. Every social media platform has some kind of a live component to it, and Twitch are like the OGs of live video. And I think Twitch is just going to continue to kind of like pioneer and pave the way for like live content in the moment where, I think like 20 years from now, like kids and younger people are just going to expect to be able to engage with content in the moment. You
Agreed.
see like all these like all the dad gamers like with their kids, and they're like involved in the Twitch community in one way or another. And like they're gonna grow up with media that they're like gonna be expecting to be able to kind of like ask questions in the moment. So I think that's really interesting. I don't know how they're gonna improve upon it, how they're gonna what they're gonna do to change. But I think live video, live content in general is just like gonna grow exponentially in the coming years. Yeah, what Barely Casual said as well.
It is definitely, like, I mean, half the time I can't even make it through a full song anymore before I change to go to a different song. I mean, like, that, I think everybody gets that feeling of instant gratification. It's all about the right now. It's all about, this moment right here, which I think it has its benefits and its negatives. Like, I don't like having to wait for a new episode of My Hero Academia. I want the whole season now, so I can watch all of it right now.
I think the other interesting thing about live is like the journalistic component of it, and like there's less, like with live, there's less opportunity to like doctor whatever it is you're putting out there. And so
Especially if you're like
it's
me and
gonna
you don't prepare.
sure, yeah, like there's less of an opportunity, like creators and content creators and like news people and journalists have to be like will have to be ready to like answer really difficult questions on the fly. And I think that's really important because you there's less to hide. There's like less of an excuse to answer to like,
Dude, Double Agent Smith, thank you so much, man. I hope you have a good day at work. Thank you for hanging out for so long.
Jesus,
Thank you
Double
so much
Agent
for the bits,
Smith.
dude. You didn't have to do that. I just appreciate your time, man. Thank you for being here, dude. I appreciate it. But yeah, no, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with what you're saying, though.
Yeah. Good question, Stellar
Dude,
Koala.
good questions. I could see Twitch working with more companies on live event streaming that people could co-host like they did with E3. Absolutely, I could see
Definitely.
that as well. I think that, I think that what I think that you're gonna see start happening a lot more is I think you're gonna start to see a lot more normalization of like esports. I think that's personally, I think that's the next big thing that's gonna happen. Like esports has been around for a long time. There've been for years high prize cash tournaments. Like it's not a new thing, but the normalization of it, where it's commonplace, where oh my god, dude, Stallion, thank you so much for the sub, dude. Um, I think the idea of where it's commonplace, where you have every college in the country in the United States has a professional Overwatch team, like a collegiate Overwatch team. Every high school has tournament teams, like that time is coming. Like that time is coming where, you're going to start seeing televised esports tournaments on like ESPN. It's not going to be like a ESPN2 sideshow. It's going to be like ESPN Friday night big tournament in, whatever big stadium, look at all these people here for this esports tournament. Like the normalization of that's what's coming next. And the amount of companies that get involved with live content creators, the amount of companies that get involved with, having people on their payroll that all they do is create live content for them. I think that's going to become a lot more normal over time. I think that's the way it's headed, dude.
Good answer.
Elder Taco going to Cambridge on an Overwatch scholarship. Dude, I'm going to Yale for Smite, Dude, there are a million amazing people in here right now. ESPN 8, the Ocho. Dude, it's gonna be like pay-per-view type stuff where it's like pay $40 to see the Fortnite tournament that takes place between Ninja and Mike Tyson. Like that's gonna be the next big thing. Dude, you guys are incredible. What other questions? Does anybody have any questions that they specifically want to take this time to ask directly to Jomo Senpai? Like this is your moment. If you have a question for Jomo Senpai, now is your time to just get that out there, dude. Like it's all about the questions right now. Demand 92 wants to know boxers or briefs, dude.
Boxers or briefs? That's a question I'm gonna answer once.
Do you want me to answer first so you feel less uncomfortable about it?
That's a question I'm gonna answer once I actually meet the man in person one day.
When should a streamer think about getting merch? I think it's all relative, dude. I mean, like,
when people start asking.
Yeah, that's a good point too. When people start asking for merch, yeah. I mean, nobody asked for an Elder Taco T-shirt, but I made one anyways. Like,
I'm pretty sure I asked for one before you started making
I don't
them.
think you asked for one. I don't think you asked for one.
Horn
Dude, Cornhorn
87.
87. First of all, thank you for being here. I don't think I've ever seen you here. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. May have been asked, but how hard did you find it getting over that hump of trying to do this as a part-time job? Actually, do you even feel like it's a part-time job? I mean, me specifically, I used to stream a lot more. I only stream pretty much on Sundays now. Um, and while I have the ability to earn money doing this, it's not to the forefront of my mind, right? Um, for me, Twitch is a very therapeutic process, and being able to meet people and have a community of people that I can talk to in a positive way, and make positive impacts on people, that helps me in my personal life feel like my life is better and more full. So I never really feel like it's a job. That being said, like, it definitely does, like, it helps when I have a good month on Twitch. Like, I work in a call center, I have a super tiny apartment. I don't have a lot, so it helps when I have a good month, but it's not my main concern. I mean, Jomo, what are your thoughts on that?
What was the question?
The question was, how hard did you find it getting over that hump of trying to do this as a part-time job? And actually, do you even
Oh,
feel like it's a part-time job?
that's right. So I always tell myself there's always an excuse not to do something. And like everything you do can, quote unquote, I think feel like a part-time job if you let it, but um and there's always, like, it's true, like there's always a reason not to do something. And that's why it's so important to like make goals, write down your goals with a pen and paper, and stick to them, whether or not it feels like a part-time job or not. And look, to answer your question, like you guys, I'm sure all of the streamers in here have felt this, but like sometimes it's so hard to press that go live button,
Mm-hmm.
but you're always glad when you do. It's always worth it when you do. But I think it's a good question, but I don't think there's like a hump. I think there's always that like battle of wanting to like do something, and actually doing something or not doing something, whether it's streaming or not.
We got Werewolf. How do you feel about produced content like YouTube? Do you think it's dying, or do you think it'll be around for a long time yet? I personally think that they have their own space, right? Like, I personally think that they have their own space, like produced content that you would upload on YouTube or whatever, with thumbnails and clickbait titles and stuff like that. Like, I feel like it has its own space aside from live content. I think there's enough people that still, subscribe to YouTube channels and watch the videos that are put out by people. I think it's going to be around for a long time. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon, especially if it's a platform that can be monetized.
Hmm.
Dude, Bella Girl 30 is now following. Thank you. What do you think? You think YouTube's going to stick around?
Yeah, I think there's always going to be that market out there, but I think it is going to get smaller as live video rises. um, it's so much more authentic. Like streaming live is so much more authentic. And you can do, I guess you could say, you can do less fancy stuff in post production. But yeah, I think YouTube's having a lot of problems right now with like the community and with where it's going. And it's creating like a huge opportunity for like Twitch to kind of like get more out there and introduce itself to people as like a media alternative.
We got where was it? Digstown, do you recommend building a PC over time as you can get the parts, or just better to get all at once? I've been told differently by so many. For me, I don't really know how. Like, I wouldn't know how to build my own computer, so I based on my knowledge, I bought a pre-built, like a mid-level pre-built PC. I don't know. That's what I did. And it seems to have worked out pretty well for me.
I'm a big like advocate of using your hardware until it really doesn't work for you. So like I'm the type of person that would like that will buy components just out of like a belief that, you know, you shouldn't need to buy more shit if you don't really need to.
That's fair. I'm just trying to
Spam
scroll
Delph.
through the chat.
Spam Delph question: how do you recognize what you bring that is unique to the table?
That is a really difficult and introspective question, because it can take a long time to figure out what makes you unique. I personally, like, I have such a self-deprecating view of myself that I don't really think that I'm bringing anything new or unique per se to the table. Maybe the way that I'm presenting it is slightly different, but for me it's more about what feels right to me. So like it feels right to just have this kind of back and forth discussion with somebody and just talk and read the chat. That's what feels right, and maybe that's what makes me unique. I don't know. That's such a hard question to try and answer, right? I mean, what do
Yes,
you think?
Spam Delph's got some really good questions. I think once you get to the point where people are commending you for things that maybe you didn't set out to do otherwise, I think that's really where what it comes down to. That's a really good question. Like Spam Delph, my gut says you never really know. But I think to a degree it's really whatever the community starts to recognize and commend you for, and that can take a long time to really figure out.
I want to shout this out real quick because I missed it because I was scrolled up in the chat. Wayne Nation rated with a party of 8, dude. Thank you for the raid, dude. I really appreciate it. That's incredible. Not to cut you off, dude, but oh
Whoa,
my god,
Mr.
dude,
Man 92.
what is going on, dude? Mrs. Demand 92. Oh my god, hello. Oh my god,
Whoa.
Mrs. Demand 92 is here. Oh my god, dude. What else do we have for Spooky Pinup? Oh my god, Spooky Pinup, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Guys, thank you all for being here. Like, I know I've said it many, 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 many times, but time is the most valuable thing you can offer to somebody. And I appreciate that you're choosing your time to be here hanging out with me and Jomo Senpai. I really, really appreciate the time that you guys are giving us. Yeah, Spamdolf, that was a great question. I'm still trying to scroll through and see if there were any other questions that we needed to address.
We got the whole fam in the house today, this
Dude,
afternoon, this morning.
everybody is here. Like, everybody is here. Oh my god. Guys, the Mazel, like, this is crazy, guys. I thank you guys so much. Like, this is just fun for me. Like, this is just a fun thing to do, right? It's very low stress. Like, you know, I gotta tell you, I told Jomo, guys, I told Jomo before we went live, I was like, dude, I'm kind of nervous because it's kind of like I'm interviewing like Kevin Smith or something like that. Like, this is a big deal, so I'm kind of nervous because I'm interviewing one of like my streaming idols, and I told him I'd try not to blow him too much with like the positive, the shower him with the praise. But guys, Jomo Senpai is he's just a fantastic dude, and he is by far the one of the biggest influences on me as a streamer. When I first saw how positive you were, and like how your energy that you put out when you're on stream, dude, like that, just you just flipped a switch, like that that is that is something that's unique. Like your energy, like that you bring, that's your unique thing that you bring to the table, dude. Like your energy and your positivity, like it was just infectious, dude. And from day one I was like, this is the guy I have to watch. Like if I'm gonna get better, this is the guy that I'm gonna watch, you know. Like it was just, it was nuts, it was nuts.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's I like, honestly, like I never could have. I don't think any of us could have really like forecasted where this was all gonna go, but
No, dude.
I like the direction it's going in, and I honestly, like, I do hope to actually meet some of you guys IRL, like I did with Kippy Koshka, Jester, Oogs. So Jesus, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Dude, it's, yeah, it's been so cool, like getting to know so many different people. Werewolf, I certainly hope this is understood as a positive when I say this, but Jomo is the best kind of spaz.
I someone was like, "How are you not sweating your?" Kramer was like, "How are you not sweating your balls off right now?" I actually
I am.
am. I am sweating my balls off right now. I
I
just
am.
haven't. Just we're just really good at hiding it.
Bit Symphony, dude. Yeah, Tin Man, exactly, right? Kind of why it makes me nervous when he's in my streams. He's like this mythical creature, and I don't want to disappoint him or anyone for that matter. Dude, Tin Man, 100%. 100%. Like, dude, when you drop in the chat, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta crank it up to 100. Oh my god. Like, Jomo's in the chat. I can't
No, you
disappoint.
guys.
Can't disappoint.
Yeah, man.
He's
It's
actually
all.
wearing two sweatbands. You got one for looks and one to keep the sweat out of your eyes.
Oh man. By the way, you can't see it, but
Dude, get out of here.
you can't see it, but
Are you
because my
kidding?
hair covers it all. But I'm rocking the taco on his show. You gotta do that. You
You're
gotta
you're
support.
wearing you're wearing my t-shirt right now.
Oh man.
That's incredible, dude. Like to me, like that's such a crazy thing. Like that's such a crazy thing that like I made something that somebody else is wearing. Like I don't know. Like obviously I didn't make the t-shirt. Like I uploaded a design that was made by, you know, the wonderful terrible no good gamer, and like but the fact that like I have merchandise that supports a good cause, but the fact that like you're wearing it right now is just, it's kind of mind-blowing to see
How
somebody
many
wearing like your brand.
how many have you shipped out? How many shirts have shipped out so far?
I think like 10. Yeah, I think
Nice.
like 10. So, I mean, we've donated a little bit. We've donated a little bit of chunk of money to charity, which is pretty fantastic. And I'd like to, I don't know, I'd like to do like a, I thought you stitched them by hand. Yeah, I stitched them by hand, and I did all the screen printing myself too. Dude, oh my god, Demand 92, your taco shirt comes in soon. Guys, I just, it makes me so happy to see, like I got a picture. I was having a really crappy day at work. Like I work in a call center. It's not exciting, you know. And I'm like looking at my phone on my break, and I just see a picture of Bit Symphony wearing my T-shirt, and it just cheered me right up. Like it's just such a cool thing to be able to know that other people appreciate what you're doing. You know, I don't know. I think that's really cool. So. But I don't know. I don't really have. I don't really have too many more questions. Like, I mean, is there anything you wanna? Is there anything you wanna go out? Is there anything you wanna go out on? Like, what's what's next for Jomo, dude?
Um,
What's the
I
what's the next big thing?
I want to get some Jomo headbands made. That's kind of my next thing, and I want to go to TwitchCon, although unannounced, and I'm training. I'm basically like training someone at work to like to do my job, to like take over my job so I can stream more. But I don't know, guys. It's like it's all. Let's see where this crazy thing goes, and let's see where it goes together. And I'm looking forward to not only growing with y'all as streamers, but to doing this more often. You know, I get bummed out sometimes that I can't jump into to everyone's streams as much as I want, but it's just about kind of like setting yourself up for the life you want to live. And I know that's easier said than done, but I really do believe like everyone can do that if they really have the intent. You know, you guys got the community to support you with doing that, and I'm just like big for kind of like creating the life that you want to live, whether it's like streaming or traveling or working in an office job or whatever it is you want to do. That's kind of my big thing. So
Dude, I'm checking right now. I'm checking right now for some people that are live that we can hit with some raid action, dude.
oh hell yeah.
Let me just see. Let me see. I want to try and find somebody that's not an affiliate yet.
How pale is she with a yellow eye?
She's affiliate. Jomo, you got anybody in the pipeline that's not an affiliate that is streaming right now that needs some hype?
Let's see. I'm such a fan of the underdogs, and I always like to.
Dude, I love to end with a big raid. Like I love to end with a raid that just like, because again, it's just that positive energy. It's like you have the power to bring that positive energy over to somebody else, you know. And even if you guys, like even if you guys don't stay for a long time, like the fact that you go and you cheer someone up or you make a positive impact in their day, like it's huge. Even if you only stay for a few minutes, like it's still huge. Oh, Carnage has a serious question. I gotta scroll up.
Serious question.
Reset get. Is that a person, Barely Casual? Is that his username? Reset get? No Good Music. Ooh. Is No Good Music live right now? Oh, Carnage wants a job with you, Jomo. That's his serious question. You gonna hook him up?
You know, it's always like it I mean, Google platforms, guys. It's not as fun as it sounds. But if you guys want to check out the website of the company I work at, it's archivedigital.com.
Dude, hold on, I gotta see. Twitch.tv.
But hell yeah, dive in. Get in touch. Get in touch. I mean,
my
I
God,
Google,
guys.
I Google shit all the time. Hire me.
Dude, guys. No Good Music is working.
Alright,
He's doing a
I'm back
creative
out.
stream right now. He's working on a theme song for Kaya Morai.
Oh my gosh, let's go check him out.
He's making music. He's working on a theme song for Kaya Morai right now, dude. Oh my God, hold on. Guys, we're gonna raid No Good Music. I would really like to say, can you guys please just join this raid? Because it's just gonna be so hype, dude. It's gonna be so hype. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to me unpreparedly rant with Jomo Senpai. Jomo, thank you so much for being here, dude. It has been an honor and a pleasure to spend some time talking to you, dude.
Thanks, guys. It's my pleasure.
Dude,
again. Thanks for having me on.
Let's
Taco.
bring the hype anytime, dude. Anytime. Guys, thank you so much.
Carnage, go
I just
go
wanna be
apply
next to
through
you.
the
I
website,
just
dude.
want to be next to
Go
you, dude.
apply. Let's do this. As long as you're ready to relocate. Anyways, look, love you guys. Love you
Hype.
long time.